Chapter 8, Dream. Dream. The Index campus is quiet during its vacation season. The incoming freshmen and soon-to-be sophomores are likely busy with trips and leisure activities, while the prospective juniors and seniors preparing for the College Board are preoccupied with private lessons, training, competitions, and studying. It's the life of the wealthy elite or talented commoners. But not for me. I'm in the deserted library of Index, watching UTV on a computer. Today, I will teach you about logging, that is, easy methods to chop down trees. These days, I'm learning woodworking, but I'm also watching as many skills as possible, such as fishing, hunting, archery, cooking, and so on. Of course, it's all to incorporate into my skill. The most important thing is your posture. Maintain your lumbar arch, and firmly grip the axe with both hands. The first strike should be a horizontal slash against the tree, creating a diagonal line on the wood. Thwack dash. The axe strikes the tree diagonally on the monitor. Aha! The first strike is a bit slanted. In this way, everything I watch is remembered in the simpler and easier the skill, the less capacity it takes up, and the more I physically repeat and master it, the less capacity it requires. Next, strike the axe in a straight line to mesh with the first diagonal strike. Try to cut as deep as possible, with the idea of making a triangle on the surface of the tree. The process of repetition and mastery with the body is what I call attunement. It means incorporating the memory of the into my body, and once attuned, the skill is rarely forgotten. Perhaps, never. Well, this is how you can easily chop down trees. It might be difficult, but if you try hard. Please subscribe and like, and I'll see you next time. The video ended. After reviewing the logging technique in my mind, I left the library. There was a large poster on the corridor wall. College Board Participant List. Gherkin Kal Dun. Elise Petra Soliet Arn Dutcheniskel. Provisional Assembly Date, Monday, February 25th. I scanned the list from top to bottom. I'll meet these guys again. Just like the saying that school is a society, there is a hierarchy in Magic High School. It's a stratum considering status, wealth, lineage, ability, etc., and not only the Office of Education but also the media divide the students into pyramid-style tiers. For instance, there are only 2 people in the S+ tier in this Magic High School. The eldest daughter of the Arn family, Soliet Arn, and the second daughter of the Petra family, Elise Petra. Below them, there are 2 people in the S tier. The historically talented, Gherkin Kal Dun, and the wealthy, Layla Hilton. Additionally, there are about 5 people in the A+ tier, and interestingly, most of those with high tiers have some connection to me. Bad ties, good ties, ones who put spaghetti on my head, trapped me in the janitorial closet, threw garbage at me. Those kinds of guys exist too. The Provisional Assembly will be on Monday, February 25th at the Clement Hall. There may be disadvantages for non-attendance. Anyway, the Provisional Assembly date tomorrow is literally to gather the College Board participants in advance, so they can see each other's faces, scout, and keep each other in check. I'm going to see those faces again after a long time. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. I may not know about the Provisional Assembly, but I do have a temporary residence. The far corner of the 2nd floor of the old building. An abandoned storage room, left alone with plenty of cobwebs. I couldn't keep living in the basement of the old man's house, it was too conspicuous. So, I moved to an upper floor. Is this indoors or outside? It was just too cold, my breath was visible, and there was no furniture to speak of. Just a straw mat on the floor, a pillow, and a blanket. After all, you need money to live. Sigh. So, I went out to the mountains behind the academy. I looked around quickly and chose a suitable tree. Not too thick, not too thin, just right for firewood. This should do. Tap tap I tapped a 5 m tall tree with my finger. It was sturdy. Let's give it a try. I gripped the axe I borrowed from the old man. In that state, I summoned the memory. In an instant, my senses sharpened. My body moved on its own, changing my stance. The expert I used as a reference was a YouTuber with 150,000 subscribers who had been in the industry for 25 years. Therefore, even though I'm currently not a master in logging, I can become a professional lumberjack who had worked in logging for a long time. Hup! I let out a yell and swung the axe diagonally. Thwack dash! The steel blade dug deep into the tree bark. Bark fragments flew like sparks. Who? After a brief pause, I pulled out the axe and struck directly below the first hit. Crack dash! The empty space of the triangle formed by the intersection of diagonal and straight lines. That completely destroyed the balance of the tree. Creaking. The tree, its spine broken, let out a scream and fell. Thud. The tree, easily weighing hundreds of kilograms, was cut down with just 2 swings of the axe. Phew. I caught my breath. I wiped the sweat that had soaked me. I looked at the fallen tree with a somewhat proud eye. Now, it's time to chop this guy into firewood. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Crackle crackle. The gentle warmth of the fire pit, borrowed from the old man, crackles indoors. Huh. I opened my eyes in the warmth. Surprisingly, my body felt refreshed. I thought I'd be a bit sore from swinging the axe so hard. I looked around with clear eyes. The temporary residence on the second floor of the old building. My body was on the straw mat, and the surrounding area was cluttered with the logs I made yesterday. I'm in good condition today. As I muttered, my hair stood on end dash. I quickly turned my head to look at the clock on the ceiling. This is crazy. Provisional Assembly is on Monday, February 25th, at Clement Hall. There may be disadvantages if you do not attend. That sentence, written at the bottom of the poster, was clear in my head, down to the last letter. Shit. I jumped up and ran out of the old building like a madman, sprinting across the campus. My destination was the round building southeast of the clock tower. Ha, ha. I ran until my heart was about to burst and finally arrived. I pressed my ear against the door and heard voices already flowing out. I straightened my school tie. I tidied up my clothes. Who? After taking a deep breath, I quietly opened the back door. Creak. So, you're late. As soon as I stepped into the hall, the man on the podium furrowed his brows at me. The seniors filling the hall also turned to look at me. I bowed my head slightly. I apologize. I'll let it slide since it's an informal assembly. But from the next class, there will be penalties. He seemed to be a flexible person, fortunately. He looked quite young, and his features were strikingly handsome. Yes. Thank you. I walked to find a seat. With each step, I could hear murmuring. Why is he here? Ugh, what's with his hair, it's so short, why is he here instead of graduating, has he gone insane this time? Amidst the chatter, the coordinator began to speak. I will explain the college board program. I hastily sat down in any available seat. What the? Why are you sitting here? Someone snapped at me from the side. It was Layla Hilton, twirling her purple hair around her finger. She's in the S tier of index. And next to her was the S+ tier, Elise Petra. Why are you sitting here? I have quite a few unpleasant memories of these two. Layla is either an axe murderer, a psychopath, or a schizophrenic. She once tried to cut off my fingers in freshman year, thinking I had crossed some line. And Elise. Thwack. Just then, the homeroom teacher flicked his finger. Wish dash. A piece of paper flew and landed on my desk. It was a course registration form. The College Board program is divided into 3 quarters. From March to May is the first quarter. You must first choose 2 general education classes for the first quarter, which will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I scanned the course list with my eyes. The elective courses included, and so on. I immediately chose 2. Swordsmanship because my father is a knight, and Latinal because it's a necessary noble course to approach Libra. Decide on your elective courses by tomorrow and submit them to the academic office. I folded the course application form horizontally. Layla, sitting next to me, glared at my hand movements with narrow eyes. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you will work on College Board assignments. Most assignments will be announced on the day, and if you fail more than 3 times, you will be disqualified. However, the assignment conducted on the first day of school is a special qualification test, and if you fail, you will be disqualified immediately. The coordinator paused for a moment and pulled out a card from his pocket. Today, I will give you a shared assignment. There is no failing in the shared assignment, but there are benefits if you succeed. He swung his arm. About 100 cards sprouted from under the lectern. The first shared assignment is Secret Friend. Oh, not this. I briefly closed my eyes. Although the others pretended to groan in displeasure, there was excitement and anticipation in their voices. I just felt like shit. I assume you know the rules. These Secret Friend cards have the names of all 153 of you. The Secret Friend must perform an action that can clearly be defined as helpful for their target, and in doing so, earn 1.5 points of CP. CP. It stands for College Point. This is the standard by which the cutoff line for prestigious universities is determined. For those in the upper echelons, every single point is hard-earned. However, a Secret Friend must never be caught. If discovered, no CP will be received. He raised his finger. On the contrary, if you correctly guess the identity of your Secret Friend, you will also receive 1.5 CP points. You only get one chance to guess your Secret Friend. There are a lot of rules for such an outdated Secret Friend game. The coordinator spoke in a stern tone. In summary, a Secret Friend must not be caught by their target. If they help their target without being discovered, they earn 1.5 CP. If they're caught, the Secret Friend doesn't get any CP, but the target does. At first glance, it might seem like a game for fostering camaraderie and breaking the ice, but upon closer inspection, it strongly reeks of the opposite. The period is until the end of the midterm exams. This game makes you doubt the goodwill of others. Those who want to show goodwill must do their best to deceive the other party, and the other party must detect the intention of the goodwill to score points. It's better to help as soon as possible. If the target gives up or drops out, you won't even have a chance to help. Perhaps it's a good lesson. There's no such thing as unconditional goodwill in this world. I will distribute the cards randomly to each of you. The homeroom teacher imbued his mana into the cards. Then, they were delivered face down in front of the students' desks. Check them. The room fell silent. The noisy voices disappeared, and the sound of flipping cards filled the room. I also picked up a card. Shit. As soon as I saw the name, my face contorted. I touched my temples with my fingers. A sudden headache surged. I assume everyone has checked. Yes. Good. Then, let's introduce ourselves one by one. At that moment, genuine groans of despair filled the classroom. The coordinator frowned. Self-introduction is a tradition of the Provisional Assembly. Are you going to moan like today on the day of the college interviews? Then the coordinator pointed somewhere with his finger. You, who came in last, go first. It was me. My headache worsened. Damn it, why? Should I confess to being a magic core cancer patient? You. Stand up. I reluctantly rose from my seat. I looked into the coordinator's eyes. He met my gaze and asked. Your name? It's Shiniskal. Your hobby? I glanced around the room for a moment. Suddenly, I realized how crowded the hall was. There were students who seemed uninterested, looking straight ahead, and some who were leaning back, watching the spectacle. But most of them exude an atmosphere as if they are looking down on me as some inferior thing. Layla, who was sitting next to me, in particular, was smirking as if she was looking at a baboon. I really want to smack her. I sighed and said, drawing. Drawing. I know how to draw. Most of my hobbies can be done while lying down. Listening to music, reading, exploring information, scrapbooking newspaper articles, drawing, and so on. Thinking about it, I had quite a talent for drawing among them. What's your dream? Suddenly, the coordinator asked about my dream. 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 The nuance of the word felt strange. Dream. It was a future I hadn't thought about for quite some time. Dream. Suddenly, the voice of the old man Belthose whispered in my ear. Become the most trustworthy person to your enemy, become their most important person, and then shatter their heart. Why would I think of that now? It sounds easy, but it's incredibly difficult. It's going to be excruciatingly hard. Since Libra is in a different realm, it would require tremendous effort and patience to reach them. Do you not have a dream? Libra. But now, I find myself muttering blankly. I clenched my fist, opened my eyes. I found myself smiling, unknowingly. What? Libra? Yes. If they are in a different realm, I will definitely reach that realm. I will exact a fitting price for this damned life, from them. Libra. Until then, I can endure. Because there are many things I want to ask them, because there are countless things I want to get, I can endure. My career aspiration is. I took a deep breath. I spat out the emotions rising from the bottom of my heart. I want to be a knight of Libra. This is my resolution, still so small that you guys wouldn't even notice. A prayer sent in the hope that you will hear it from above. That's quite ambitious. The coordinator said. Then, as if they had been waiting, laughter erupted. It was a scornful and dismissive laughter, mixed with contempt and disregard. It didn't matter. Yes. I suppose so. Because I was laughing too. Chapter 9, Index. Index. 20 minutes on foot from Index, there's a grove of cypress trees. Behind it, the mountains and streams are clear, and in front, the cityscape unfolds. In that place, there's a particularly luxurious villa. 5 friends who have grown up together since childhood pooled their allowances to build this dwelling, which is too spacious to be a hideout and too open to be a secret room. With just over 100 square meters. My dream is to be a knight of Libra. In the living room of that place, there's a man doing an impression in a deep voice. Kahahaha. Oh, I'm dying of laughter, because of that guy. With his reddish-brown long hair and large body, he reminds one of a half-moon bear. He is the eldest son of the Traxil family Cain Traxil. But isn't he a loyal one? Raised by Libra's money in Libra's orphanage, a knight of Libra. That's quite a story. This time, it's the handsome blonde man lying in the hammock, Asher Dread. Loyal my ass. He's a fucking nuisance. Those kinds of guys are actually detrimental to Libra's image. The Traxil family, who own dozens of magic stone mines all over the continent, and the Dread family, ranked 52nd in the Edsala business hierarchy. They are young masters who have grown up in the lap of luxury. Hey. I think he's rather impressive. Of course, they can't match Layla, whose family is insanely wealthy. Lalia Hilton of the Forbidden Golden Leaf had crossed her arms, thinking of Shin. Shin shaved his head too. Something's changed. He must have received special training during the winter break. Dutft. What could that loser achieve with special training? At that remark, Asher quietly twisted his lips in amusement, and Kane scoffed, completely ignoring him when Russell. A quiet footstep, like a snowflake landing. What are you talking about? A voice softly blooming. The three of them turned to look at the same time. The railing of the second-floor staircase. Golden hair, imbued with a white glow, flowing down in luxury artifacts like rings, bracelets, and necklaces ripple like small waves. It sounds like you're having fun. I can hear the laughter. Elise Petra. Even among the talented and wealthy in Index, she stands at the extreme end, the daughter of the parliamentary family Petra. Ellie, are your studies over? Layla tried to run to her and hug her but was blocked, and Asher got up from the hammock. Ah. Well, it's nothing special. That fellowshian's comedic routine. My dream is to be a knight of Libra, Kahua. Is that funny? Elise asked coldly. Asher immediately shut his mouth. Layla coughed awkwardly. Right. What's so funny about that? Why are you guys laughing so loudly? It's not funny, not funny. Asher scratched the back of his neck and made an excuse. Ah, yes. That, sorry. You don't like that loser, right? Just dash. Why do you say I dislike someone? Elise's expression hardened for a moment. Asher shivered. He had accidentally touched a sore spot. Elise dislikes Shin, that loser. She dislikes him so much that she doesn't even want the fact that she dislikes him to be discovered. No, she dislikes him so much that she won't even admit to herself that she dislikes him. Why should I dislike such a homeless guy? Fortunately, she cut him off without any reaction and headed to the coffee machine with heavy steps. Asher glanced at her and breathed a sigh of relief. Ellie. Can you make me a cup too? Elise handed the coffee she had just made to Layla. Thanks. But why the hell did that idiot apply to the college board without graduating? Does he really think he can go to a college or something? Kane muttered as if he was genuinely curious. Don't worry about it. Elise replied, tapping the floor with the heel of her slipper. He'll disappear soon enough. He might get hurt or even die. After all, dozens die every year during the college board. It was a rather harsh statement. Kane cleared his throat, and Layla sipped her coffee without a thought. Ellie, this coffee is good. The coffee machine was a good purchase, right? Instead of worrying about strange things, how about studying? Elise, who had thrown a sharp remark, went back up the stairs with her teacup in hand. Let's study together. Layla followed her, and Asher and Kane blankly watched their retreating figures. Sigh. Indeed, their friend was becoming more dazzlingly beautiful every day. Even though her personality was questionable. Hey, Kane. Didn't Elise change a lot after her dad became a congressman? When Asher asked, Kane answered. She was always like that, you idiot. Ah, fuck, never mind. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Index, 1 week before the start of school. I roamed around the school grounds, picking up junk and discarded furniture. If it was somewhat intact, like chairs, drawers, desks, I brought them all to my temporary shelter and disassembled them. The skill I will introduce today is curved wave. The curved wave technique is to finish the wood in the form of a curve. I borrowed all the necessary tools from Mr. Belthose, and fully utilized the woodworking skills I learned from UTV. I disassembled broken desks and doors, reprocessed them, and made a frame for the bed. I made a fireplace with discarded bricks, heat insulators, and dirt and sand from the back mountain. I tore off the wooden tiles from the old pipes to make a desk and chair. There was a sense of accomplishment, but the happiest moment was when I found a decent mattress in the recycling center. Because I can't make a mattress with my current skill level. Thanks to that, my temporary dwelling became somewhat livable. A bed assembled like a patchwork with materials of different colors and textures, a fireplace, and firewood as a boiler substitute, a chair and a desk, but hey. There's no rent, so it's more than enough. Oh, I also got a new phone. I only had 50 Ren in my hand, but I paid in full installments. So, housing and communication were resolved, but the bigger problem was food. Crazy hunger. I have a body that needs 6 meals a day. At first, I thought about hunting wild animals, but I gave up. Tracking, hunting, disassembling, butchering, roasting. I would starve to death doing all that. So, I turned my eyes to job postings. Among them, the one with the highest hourly wage, a very successful meat restaurant near Index. I ran straight there and had an interview. It might be a bit hard for you. You're too skinny. Do you know how much work we have? The job was dishwashing and other miscellaneous tasks. The boss looked somewhat dubious, but I spoke with confidence. So what? Duh. Just give me plenty of food. Impressed by my spirit, the boss hired me. The work was indeed a lot. An insane amount. Almost hundreds of dishes and countless grills poured in every hour, but for me, it was incredibly easy. There was no need to resort to using look-see-do. I've done all sorts of jobs, and when it comes to menial labor like dishwashing, I'm beyond an expert. I am a master. It's no big deal. At 7 p.m., I shrugged my shoulders while sipping on chocolate milk. It was peak time when the restaurant would be bustling with customers, but the kitchen, or at least the sink, was relaxed. Why? Because I'm a human dishwasher. I'm going to take out the trash. Huh? Oh, okay. Be careful. The boss, who had been watching my work from a corner of the kitchen, responded absent-mindedly. I went outside, holding bags of food waste in both hands. As I was about to throw the bags into the trash bin, suddenly. Hey, isn't that Chen? A somewhat familiar voice called out to me. I turned to look. It was Elise's gang. Kane, Asher, Layla, and Elise. A sort of silver spoon cartel, made up of the most famous and envied guys in Index. Ugh, the smell. What are you doing there? Kane asked, scrunching up his nose. He treated me as if he had seen me just yesterday. Which is why it's all the more awkward for me. Not only was I not used to their young faces, but it had also been years since I had a face-to-face conversation with them. Aren't you going to answer, punk? Kane asked harshly. I responded briefly. I'm working, you fucking pig. Are you blind? What? Hey, did you just say dash? Pfft. Kane blinked in surprise, and Layla couldn't hold back her laughter. Asher, the blonde, chuckled and said, Wowshin, you've grown quite a mouth since we last saw you. The apron and the trash suit you. Keep doing that job. Forget about things like college boards. Asher, that bastard, was as disgusting and rude as ever. His condescending attitude, his leech-like face, everything. But, the coldest and most irritating gaze was, as always, from Elise. Elise Petra. She was looking at me with contempt. She seemed to find me as disgusting as the food waste I had just thrown away, no, even more so. She despised my very existence. That motherfucker. Hey. What did you just say? A fucking pig? A mountain pig. Kane's face turned red as he took a step forward. Hey. Don't mess with Shan. But then, Layla suddenly intervened. Shan is trying hard to make a living. If you can't help him, at least don't pick a fight. Come on, let's go somewhere else. With a determined look on her face, she grabbed her friends and pulled them away. What's her deal? Asher pointed at the sign of the barbecue restaurant, looking puzzled. Hey, we came here to eat meat dash. Let's go. We can eat somewhere else. I'll pay. Why the hell that crazy woman is pretending to be nice? I think I have an idea. Is she my secret friend? You fucking Shan, hey. You're dead if you cross my path. Kane, why is your mouth so foul? Get ready to be punched, huh? I flipped off Kane, who kept berating me until the end. No way, that son of a bitch. Ignoring the fuming Kane, I returned to the kitchen. Guys, look at this. It's incredibly clean. Can you believe this was done by hand? I'm not expecting this level from you, but the boss was using the dishes I cleaned to educate the staff. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. 11 p.m. When will I ever save up money at this rate? Back at my temporary residence, I sat on the bed, looking up at the night sky outside the window. There's nothing to do. The seniors, including Elisa's gang, would be incredibly busy fulfilling elite magic training and physical training curriculums at famous dojos or academies. There must be quite a few who have already completed their magic body. They can freely use magic formulas as they please. Not me. Whether they're talented or not, everyone eventually awakens their magic body, but I can't even manage that. Because of the cancer of the magic's core. Similarly, I can't implement magic formulas. But, in truth, it's not solely because of the cancer of the magic's core. Firstly, I lacked talent in magic, and I was terrible at studying. To realize magic formulas, one must necessarily learn the discipline of magic, but I'm practically magic illiterate. If I hadn't cheated with I would have been expelled a long time ago. Anyway, my current priority is definitely money. I have to survive, after all. I looked at the sword leaning against the corner of the wall. The Iskal short sword. A famous sword made of rune steel, a blend of different runes. In my previous life, that was my surgery fee. Even though I sold it in a hurry, I still got 50,000 ren. I won't do that in this life. I won't sell my roots, ever. Is there another puzzle or something? I suddenly thought of old man's puzzle. Where does the old man get such jobs? I'm curious for no reason. Wait. A light bulb went off in my head. I jumped up from the bed. Index. Index Magic High School. This place is a school attended by young ladies with no economic sense, who would pay 700 ren just to complete a mere 8,000-piece puzzle. On the other hand, in my previous life, I was a driver, a delivery man, a cleaner, a detective, and a porter. This might work. I can do whatever they ask. Chapter 10, Index. Index. The library at Index has always been perfect. Open 24 hours a day, all year round, the 300 Pyong, approximate 990 SQ meters, reading room is filled with books, and there are various facilities such as group study rooms and photocopy rooms. Of course, all services are completely free. Acquisition of items, delivery, transfer, and more. From simple errands to complex tasks. We assist in everything. Please contact hashtag 050013013021-4302. It's a safe number that doesn't reveal either party's phone number. Quite intuitive, and very helpful. Thanks to this, I printed hundreds of flyers for free. The concept is simply, we do anything for you, targeting the rich and naive students of Index. There are 3,000 students from 1st to 4th grade alone, and if you include the attendants like drivers and managers brought by the noble students, and even the commoner families who move in groups, the population within the premises would always exceed 10,000 to 20,000. If I post it here and there in Index, they will contact me on their own. I looked at the clock. 1 a.m. Should I distribute them since I've made them? I have nothing else to do, and today is unusually dull. I must say, my sleep pattern is abnormal. Sometimes I'm so sleepy I can't stand it, and sometimes I'm as alert as an insomniac. Well, why not? I went outside with a thick stack of flyers tucked under my arm. Yawn. Before I knew it, it was 10 a.m. For 9 hours, I had been distributing flyers almost everywhere in all the buildings of Index. Between the bookshelves in the library, on the shelf above the toilet in the bathroom, in the alleys between Index, between park benches, in the gym locker room, on classroom ceilings. In the middle of the clock tower, on the windowsills of the cafeteria, on the seats of the stadium, in the lockers in the hallway, in the magic research room, in the club room, and so on. Now I'm sleepy. My body feels heavy, and I'm starting to get sleepy. Ding. Suddenly, my phone rang. It was a text. A client already, I thought, and hurriedly turned it on. On Monday, March 3rd, the College Board begins. We wish luck to all Index students challenging themselves in college. Location, Index Valhalla Hall. Time, 11 a.m. Please be aware that severe disadvantages may occur if you are late. It's a text announcing the opening of the College Board next Monday. Since today is Friday, it's exactly 3 days later. College Board. The beginning of the 4th grade. I've never done it before, but I'm not unconfident. I naturally acquired techniques and physical skills while rolling at the bottom for 10 years. However, I will not bring Parian, the future artifact remembered by the into my body if I can help it. Why? Because I'm a cancer patient. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Silinacio. A prestigious academy located in the richest neighborhood of the capital of Edsala, where the children of the entire continent's powers bring money to attend. In that place, which selects only the real ones by finely measuring not only the wealth of the students but also their bloodline, talent, honor, and social authority of the family. Final match. Elise Petra wins. Elise finished the match, the final test before the beginning of the College Board. Yay! Since today's final match was open to all students, hundreds of cheers and applause poured down like a rainstorm. At the center of that brilliant spotlight, Elise, the object of everyone's admiration, simply extended her hand to the loser with an expressionless face. Take it. How could you not let me win just once? Her opponent was Mel, the runner-up from Silinacio. He took Elise's gloved hand and stood up. You made the right choice not going to Index. You'd be tossed around there too, wouldn't you? It was a provocation of sorts. Even Elise, the top student at Silinacio, was locked in fierce competition with Gherkin and Soliet at Index. Index, huh? You wouldn't even make the top 10 there. Elise quietly retorted, and Mel's expression hardened. Well done. Just then, the headmaster of Silinacio appeared. She handed a certificate to Elise with a bright smile. Elise stared at it quietly. To be honest, she had learned more from the famous private tutors she had hired with Petra's money than from what she had learned at Silinacio. But the real value of Silinacio was not in learning, but in networking. Congratulations, Elise. Thank you. Elise bowed her head at the headmaster's words. The reporters are waiting. There were many scouts and reporters right below the stage. The final public training of the promising 6-star talent overflowing with star quality would probably make the 9 o'clock news. Can you say a few words? Yes, I suppose so. Elise was somewhat curious about what kind of reporting and articles they would write. She slowly descended the stage stairs. At that moment, countless microphones rushed towards her. Miss Elise, you've been first in Salinas High School for 3 years straight, could you share your feelings? How do you expect your final college board scores to be? Many betting sites have Gherkin as the first. Gherkin and Soliet from the same school are expected to be strong competitors. The questions were, as expected, similar. It was always about Gherkin and Soliet for the past 3 years. She was quite annoyed in her first year, but now she had somewhat adapted. My scores will be as I perform. No more, no less. After all, the real competition begins after entering college. Elise said with a calm, expressionless face. My scores will be as I perform. No more, no less. After all, the real competition begins after entering college. Elise on the TV news answers emotionlessly and dryly. Desiring to be first more than anyone else, pretending not to care about other competitors. Pretending not to be interested at all. She's so hypocritical. 171 centimeters. Then the old man spoke, the height measured with a ruler. You've really grown. I just thought you looked tall. His eyebrows twitched as if surprised. I told you. I've grown 3 centimeters in a month, but my growth is a year-long process. Before regression, I was 196 centimeters, so I'll probably stop around there. You won't recognize me in a year. Not only will my arms and legs get longer, but my bones and muscles will also become stronger than they are now. They will naturally be tempered by the mana radiated by the magic core. Well, I'm going. I, having tightly fastened my school uniform necktie, did a light stretch. Off to the garden or wherever. The old man added a word with a gruff demeanor. Do you have confidence? Of course. I immediately answered and stepped onto the basement stairs. First place is overkill, but I think I could manage around 15th place. Perhaps he was taken aback by my confidence. The old man, with a slightly dazed expression, said, Madman. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Monday 11 a.m., Valhalla Hall. Among the many buildings of Index, it is the one that most resembles a temple, and I am walking towards it. How's your condition? I'm not feeling so hot. There were already many students at the entrance. Don't get ahead of yourself, bastard. Watch today's round. I'll show you. Oh, it's Shin. As I slowly approached, a sluggish voice called my name. He's really doing it too. Suddenly, I feel down. It was Asher, as expected. I quickly scanned the two guys. Kane and Asher were shouldering what looked like golf bags. You came to carry our golf bags, I see. Asher, who had just noticed my gaze, approached. Thanks. He looked down at me and slung his golf bag over my shoulder. Then he twisted the corners of his mouth into a smile. Dutchin. But, do you seriously think you can do it? What the hell are you thinking? Get lost. Just then, the person in charge came out of Valhalla Hall. Asher pushed me away and flashed a bright smile again. Thanks. I'll come to get the golf bag later. Hey, Kane. Are you okay? Arshan says he'll carry it. Fuck off. That rat might steal it. It's blatant shuttle treatment, but honestly, this is nothing. The day when that bastard will look down on me is not far off. Attention. The supervisor spoke. For reference, that man's name is Chedrick. He's a person dispatched from the University Association to Index, and he acts as a homeroom teacher for the seniors for a year. Total number of participants in the Index College Board is 133. That's correct. He counted our numbers and nodded. We will start the first task of the college board. Come inside. Then, the students entered Valhalla Hall. I followed, carrying the golf bag on my shoulder. What is this place? Standing in the hall, I looked around inside. There was an endless corridor leading only to one side, and countless doors were placed at regular intervals. Each of you stand in front of a door. 133 people moved in an orderly manner. The high-ranking guys stood at the front numbers, and I, naturally carrying a golf bag as big as my body, ended up it. Now, everyone go in. The task will start exactly at 11 o'clock. The seniors opened the doors almost simultaneously. Beyond that was a space about 8 pyong in size, just like a studio. There was a clock on the wall, and a transparent pyramid sparkled on the table in the center. I know what that is. Prism. Wait a minute. Just as I was about to get anxious for some reason. Tick-tock. The hour hand announcing exactly 11 o'clock rang unusually loudly. Then a voice came down from the ceiling. We'll now start the first task of the college board, eligibility test. As previously announced, if you fail, you will lose the qualification to challenge the college board itself. A stiff tone and a low voice. It's Chedrick. 133 of you are in a space with the same structure. First, you will see an object in the center. A mana prism. Then, Cedric echoed the same words. Mana prism. TCH. I clicked my tongue. I had a hunch about what the test was. Thetask for the first week is that prism. A properly made mana prism has the property of absorbing magical and physical power. The test ends exactly 2 hours from now, at 1 p.m. If the test is what I think it is, then it's quite troublesome. It's a puzzle I can't solve, now or ever. It doesn't matter how you do it. Even a tiny scratch on the mana prism means success. Damn it. Suddenly, the back of my neck felt hot. A mana prism is like a very hard onion. It has a strong resistance to external shocks, so unless you first analyze and interpret the flow of mana inside and break the structure, even most experts cannot break it. It does have a weakness to physical force, but even that has a mana resistance of 99%, physical resistance of 90%, so there's not much difference. Begin. But I'm not even an expert right now. All I have is my body, and my mana and general mana utilization, control, cooperation, adaptability, resistance, etc. All of it falls short. Ha. I sighed and sank into the chair, scratching my heated neck. Damn it. Is it over already? Just like this? So, even after dying and coming back to life, I can't overcome a single mana prism? Then how many times do I have to die and come back to life? It's ridiculous. Wait a moment. Suddenly, a thought brushed through my mind. I craned my neck to look up at the ceiling. I have a question. I shouted towards the camera in the corner of room 133, to someone unseen. Can I use tools? That's acceptable. At the confirmation that it was okay, a light bulb went off in my head. Let's think about it. I have Parian. Specifically, Parian is in the. However, I can't call Parian into my physical body. Even so, I can't break the prism with my bare fists, and my health problems are too severe. Then, can't I apply this to an object instead of my body? I don't know, shit. I'll know if I try. No, I have to try to know. Fortunately, I already have a weapon. A very good friend, very kindly, lent me something in advance. I quickly pulled out the thickest driver from Escher's luxury golf bag. I don't know if it will work with this. But it's my only method, so I don't want to assume it will fail. I closed my eyes and calmly called Parian. At that moment, my mana was consumed in a flash. I felt like I was going to black out, but I didn't know if it worked. The exterior of the golf club remained the same. I'll know if I hit it. Who? I took a deep breath. I gripped the golf club with both hands. Someone might analyze the internal structure of this prism, interfere with the circuit where the mana circulates, and delicately dismantle it, but not me. I just took a stance. Both arms above my head, the golf club almost touching the ceiling. I twisted my whole body. Dash, dash. I swung down the club on the prism with all my might.